Welcome back to the Dread Archive. They say an old house settles. They tell you it's just the wind or the pipes or the wood expanding in the cold. But what happens when the sound you hear in the dead of night is a voice you know you shouldn't be hearing? My family history is tragic, to say the least. When I was just a little kid, a terrible car accident took my dad from us. My mom survived, but with lasting injuries that made it hard for her to even walk. We stayed in the house my dad left us, just the two of us. Eventually, my mom started dating again. That's when Uncle Steve came into the picture. He'd stay at the house for days at a time to watch me while she was out. He was the cool uncle. We played catch. He took me to the movies. He gave me the memories I never got the chance to make with my own dad. But as I got older, and my mom married her second husband, Uncle Steve started coming around less and less. By the time I was 16,
It's so good
he
to
just
see you again.
stopped.
I was just thinking
Months
about
went
our
by.
last visit.
Nothing. My mom was always strangely vague about it. I figured they just had a falling out. At 18, the house was basically mine. My mom moved out, leaving me alone in this big, empty place. I didn't mind. I enjoyed my freedom, and I had my dog, Jojo. Jojo was a 13-year-old Australian shepherd, an old man. He always slept right by my side, until one night in January. I woke up, and the bed was empty. Jojo was gone. I got up thinking he just needed to go outside. I called his name down the dark hallway. No answer. I walked toward the kitchen, and that's when I saw him. He was standing perfectly still in the dark, staring intently down the open basement stairs. He didn't bark. He didn't move. I stepped closer and whispered, "What is it, boy?" His tail gave a stiff, nervous wag for a second, and then he froze again, just staring into the pitch black of the basement. A cold shiver ran down my spine. Of all the places for your dog to stare down in the middle of the night, the basement is the absolute worst. I grabbed his collar, pulled him upstairs, and shut the door. But I couldn't sleep. Every few minutes, I felt the bed vibrate. Jojo was sitting up, staring at my bedroom door, listening. I couldn't just lie there. I had to know. I crept back downstairs. Jojo followed me, but the moment we reached the kitchen, he stopped dead in his tracks. He wouldn't go near the basement door. I flicked the light switch. I stood at the top of the stairs, looking down into the darkness, and called out, "Is someone there?" Silence. I started down the steps, one creaking floorboard at a time. I was maybe 3 steps down when I heard it. It was a voice, coming from the darkest corner of the basement. It was weak, injured, calling my name. And I knew that voice. It was Uncle Steve. My heart dropped into my stomach. I ran down the rest of the steps, yelling his name, "Uncle Steve!" But as I reached the bottom, the basement was completely empty. I checked behind the old couch. I checked behind the TV. Nothing. The only place left was the laundry room. I looked toward that corner door, and from the other side, I heard the slightest scraping sound. Every instinct in my body screamed at me to run. I didn't even turn off the light. I bolted up those stairs faster than I ever have in my life, slammed the door, and locked myself in my room with Jojo. I called my mom, whisper screaming into the phone. I told her someone was in the basement. I told her it was Uncle Steve. I swore to her I heard his exact voice. There was a long, terrifying pause on the other end of the line. And then, with a shaking voice, she told me the truth. The truth she had hidden to protect me from more heartbreak. Uncle Steve didn't just stop coming around. He got sick. He died of cancer years ago. "That's impossible," I told her. "He's down there right now." She told me to call the police immediately. I did. They arrived minutes later, weapons drawn, and searched every inch of that basement. They opened the laundry room. They checked the crawl spaces. There was no one. The house was completely empty. I never slept in that house again. My mom sold it a year later. To this day, I can't explain it. The police told me it was just my imagination. But I know what I heard. And more importantly, Jojo heard it too. Something was down there in the dark, something wearing the voice of a dead man. If you want to watch same as stories, please subscribe my channel.